Friday with Father Scott, coming to you from the kitchen where so many of us like to gather and get a cup of coffee and have a little snack through the day. Our gospel for the second Sunday of Lent is from St. Matthew, and here it is. Jesus took Peter, James, and John, his brother, and led them up a high mountain by themselves. And he was transfigured before them. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became white as light. And behold, Moses and Elijah appeared to them, conversing with them. Then Peter said to Jesus and replied, Lord, it is good that we are here. If you wish, I will make 3 tents here, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah. While he was still speaking, behold, a bright cloud cast a shadow over them. Then from the cloud came a voice that said, This is my beloved Son, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him. When the disciples heard this, they fell prostrate and were very much afraid. But Jesus came and touched them, saying, Rise, and do not be afraid. And when the disciples raised their eyes, they saw no one else but Jesus alone. As they were coming down from the mountain, Jesus charged them, Do not tell the vision to anyone until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead. The Gospel of the Lord. Praise to you, Lord Jesus Christ. A very familiar gospel, the transfiguration of Jesus on that mountain. And I think sometimes when we have a religious experience, we're like the disciples. We want to build a tent and kind of keep the moment with us forever, or stay where the moment occurred. But most of the time we have to carry that moment in our hearts and in our memory and live the world someplace else. And every now and then draw the strength that comes from that experience of an encounter with the Lord in a very special way. I think that's what the disciples had on that mountain. Jesus is seen converses with Moses and Elijah. The law and the prophets are represented in those two figures, that Jesus becomes one in line with them, and really the fulfillment of the law and the prophets in his person. And that message gets carried by the disciples to the ends of the earth. Although at the very end of today's gospel selection, we hear Jesus say, Do not tell anyone until the Son of Man has been raised. But how can you keep something like that to yourself? You've experienced something so transforming that you want to share it with those around you, people that you care about the most. So today we have that beautiful gospel. We have it for this weekend that touches our hearts and really sets a lot of things in motion. Part of it are called to faithfully follow the Lord. So we listen carefully and we share the good news. We're not going to pitch a tent at a retreat center or some kind of encounter with the Lord, but we call upon that for strength in moments of darkness or doubt or fear or tribulations. The disciples experienced that in that experience today, that fear. And Jesus says, do not be afraid. Come. Follow me. So we're called to do the very same. This weekend, we're celebrating our commitment weekend for the Capital Campaign. So if you're watching this today, this Friday, just be mindful. Bring your commitment card with you. If you've already made a commitment, just bring an envelope. So when we walk the church, either Father Isaac or I will stand there with a basket and invite you to bring your commitment forward. Bring it up and toss it in there. And, thank you to so many who have brought us to this moment in the Capital Campaign, from people that made this or did that or wrote a letter or did a little meal or you name it, they've done it. They've made it happen. It's the people are what is so special, I think, about Our Lady of Lourdes. So bring your commitment card. It's all of us working together that will move that number higher in the gathering space of our church. So, ladies and gentlemen, until we meet again, let this word, rich as it is, touch our hearts. And may we take it to heart and carry the message to the ends of the earth and be transformed into an image of Christ. So care for your neighbors, watch for your neighbors. Again, maybe we'll see you at the fish fry again tonight. Last week's was super great. Blessings on all the leadership of that. And until we meet again, blessings. Take care.